Hey there, new pickleball players. This series has helped teach you the lingo of the game, and today we're going to be talking about the kitchen. In the rulebook, it's called the non-volley zone, but most players, pretty much everyone, call it the kitchen when you're playing. So we're going to talk about that. When can you go into the kitchen? What is the kitchen? And what's important about it? What are the common questions? Let's talk about that right now. So here we're in the middle of a game, and we have the far side is at the kitchen. This kitchen is the 7 feet space from the net. So you can see all of the kitchen here. The line is part of the kitchen, so that counts as being in the kitchen if you're on that or if the ball hits it. So on a serve, remember you have to go past the kitchen on a serve. So you have to go past the kitchen line on a serve. The 3 lines would be good on a serve, and the kitchen line would be bad on a serve. But this kitchen line counts as being in the kitchen. And the kitchen, or non-volley zone, again, as it's called in the rule book, non-volley. So volley means hit the ball out of the air. Non-volley zone means you can't. So when you're inside of here, inside of the kitchen, you cannot hit the ball out of the air. So if your opponents hit you the ball and it's in the air and you're inside of here, you can't hit it, or it'd be a fault and you would lose the point. So what most people do is they stand just behind the kitchen line, as you're seeing these players do, and they're trying to hit the ball out of the air from that spot. Now, when you hit the ball out of the air from behind the kitchen, like these players are doing, you also cannot fall or step into the kitchen after you hit the ball. So you couldn't, let's say, run up to the kitchen and then hit the ball in the air and then whoop, 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 fall into the kitchen, even if it's 2, 3, 4 seconds later. If your momentum ever carries you into the kitchen after hitting the ball out of the air, that is also a fault and you would lose the point. So what people try to do is run to the kitchen, plant their feet, and then try to reach or sidestep for balls and hit those out of the air. Now, legally, you can stand inside of the kitchen. People ask, well, when can I go in the kitchen? Now, legally, you can go in whenever you want. But when you're in there, you can't hit the ball out of the air while you're in there. So people don't normally stand there, though you're allowed to. People stand just behind it and try to hit the ball from out of the air just behind the kitchen line. And again, just a reminder, can't fall in after hitting it out of the air. The most common time to step into the kitchen, when people will normally go in the kitchen, is if your opponents hit you a ball that you know is going to bounce. So they hit you a ball that you know is going to bounce inside the kitchen. People will generally step into the kitchen, wait for the ball to bounce, and then once it bounces up, then they'll hit it. So one of the misconceptions new players, or one of the things new players struggle with the kitchen, is they think that they have to wait for it to actually bounce before they go in to hit the ball. But that's not true. You can move in as this ball is about to bounce. You can go in early, wait. Then once it bounces, then you can hit it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You can also, there's a video I have about earning, and an earning would be like you come to the side over here and stand here and then hit the ball out of the air. That is also allowed because this is not part of the kitchen. The kitchen stops at this line. So players can actually run around this and hit the ball out of the air too. Hard to do, but it's legal. So that's the main things you need to know about the kitchen, where it is, and that the kitchen line is part of the kitchen. So when you're hitting the ball out of the air, your feet cannot be on the kitchen line. When you hit the ball out of the air, no part of your body, including your paddle, can fall to help catch your balance after hitting it out of the air. So you have to hit it, maintain your balance outside of the kitchen, and you're good. And like I said, the last thing, you can be on the side of the kitchen to hit the ball out of the air. And really, just you can go in whenever you want. The hardest part for players is when they are on the serving team, or sorry, the returning team, when they're the returning team and they return and run up to the kitchen and then hit the ball out of the air. A lot of new players tend to then fall into the kitchen, trying to catch their balance, and they realize it as they're falling, but then it's too late. So the big thing I would say for new players is when you return the ball, let's get a clip of that. Now let's watch this player here, the returner. He's going to return, run in, and then the big thing here, this was a good shot, so it wasn't in the air for him to hit, but this player, as he's coming in, I would suggest as a new player to stop here. So think about running, stopping, and then hitting. Otherwise, if you're just running, you'll kind of continue running and then hit and then fall into the kitchen. So that's the big thing to know about the kitchen is when you're returning and running in, be careful not to hit it out of the air and then fall into the kitchen right afterwards. So that's the kitchen. That's what you need to know about the kitchen or non-volley zone. I'm going to have other videos like this to help new players with Lingo, so feel free to check those out in my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.